Tinang stopped before the senyor's gate and adjusted the baby's cap. The dogs that came to bark at the gate were strange dogs, big-mouthed animals with a sense of superiority. They stuck their heads through the hog fence, lolling their tongues and straining. Suddenly, from the Gomamela row, a little black mongrel emerged and slithered through the fence with ease. It came to her, head down and body quivering.
Bantay, ay bantay.
She exclaimed as the little dog laid its paws upon her shirt to sniff the baby on her arm. The baby was afraid and cried. The big animals barked with displeasure. Tito, the young master, had seen her and was calling to his mother.
Ma, it's Tina. Ma, it's Tina.
He came running down to open the gate. Aba, you're so tall now, Tito. He smiled his girl smile as he stood by, warding the dogs off. Tinang passed quickly up to the veranda stairs lined with ferns and many-colored bougainville. On landing, she paused to wipe her shoes carefully. About her, the senyora's white and lavender butterfly orchids flew red delicately in the sunshine. She noticed through the purple waling-waling that had once been her task to shade from the hot sun with banana leaves and to water the mixture of charcoal and eggs, and water was not in bloom.
Is no one covering the waling-waling now?
Tinang asked.
It will die.
Oh, the maid will come to cover the orchids later.
The senyora called from inside.
Tina, let me see, dear baby. Is it a boy?
Yes, Ma.
Tito shouted from downstairs.
And the ears are huge.
What do you expect? Replied his mother.
The father is Abugubo. Even Tinang looks like Abugubo now.
Tinang laughed and felt warmness for her former mistress and the boy Tito. She sat down consciously on the black Nara sofa. For the first time, a visitor. Her eyes clouded. The sight of the senyora's facedly plump figure, swatched in a loose, waistless house dress that came down to her ankles, and the faint scent of agua de colonia blended with kitchen spice, seemed to her essence and comfortable world, and she sighed thinking of the long walk through the mud, the baby's legs stranded her waist, and Ingo, her husband, waiting for her. His body stinking of tuba and sweat, squatting on the floor, clad only in his foul undergarments.
No, Tina, it is not good thing to be married.
The senor asked, pitying Tinang because her dress gave way at the placket and pressed at her swollen breast. It was a matter of fact, the dress she had given Tinang a long time ago.
It is hard, Senora. Very hard. Better that I were working here again.
There.
The senor said.
Didn't I tell you what it would be like, huh? That you would become a slave to your husband, and that you would work a baby entirely, straight you. Are you not pregnant again?
Tinang squirmed at the senora's directness but admit she was.
Hala, you will have a dozen before long.
The senora got up.
Come, I'll give you some dresses and an old blanket that you can cut into things for the baby.
They went into a cluttered room, which looked like a huge closet, and as the senora sorted out some clothes, Tinang asked,
How is Senor?
He is always losing his temper over the tractor drivers. It is not the way it was when Amado was here. You remember what a good driver he was. The tractors were always kept in working condition. But now, I wonder why he left all of a sudden. He said he would be gone for only 2 days.
I don't know.
Tinang said. The baby began to cry. Tinang charged him with irritation.
Wait, Tinang. Come to the kitchen, your bugubito is hungry.
For the next hour, Tinang sat in the kitchen with an odd feeling. She watched the girl who was now possession of the kitchen work. Around with a neckerchief, clutched in one hand, she had the lipstick on too, Tinang noted. The girl looked at her briefly but did not smile. She set down a can of evaporated milk for the baby and served her with coffee and cake. The senora drank coffee with her and lectured about keeping the baby's stomach bound and training to it to stay itself so she could work. Finally, Tinang brought up, hauntingly with phrases like,
If it will not offend you, and if you're not too busy,
the purpose of her visit, which was to ask senoras to be madrina in baptism. The senora readily assented and said she would provide the baptismal clothes and fee for the priest. It was time to go.
When are you coming again, Tinang?
The senor asked. Tinang got the baby ready.
Don't forget the bundle of clothes and, oh, Tinang, you better stop at the drugstore. They asked me once whether you were still with us. You have a letter there and I was going to open it to see if there was a bad news, but I thought you would be coming.
A letter?
Tinang's heart beat violently. Somebody is dead. I know somebody is dead, she thought. She crossed herself and after thanking the senoras profusely, she hurried down. The dogs came forward and Tito had to restrain them.
Bring me some young corn next time, Tinang.
He called after her. Tinang waited a while and at the drugstore, which was also the post office of the barrio. Finally, the man turned to her.
Mrs., do you want a medicine for your baby or for yourself?
No, I came for my letter. I was told I have a letter.
And what is your name, Mrs.?
He drawled.
Constantina Tirol.
The man pulled a box and slowly went through the pile of envelopes, most of which were scribbled in pencil.
Tirol, Tirol, Tirol.
He finally pulled out a letter and handed it to her. She stared at the unfamiliar scrawl. It was not from her sister and she think of no one else who could write to her. Santa Maria, she thought.
Maybe something has happened to my sister.
Do you want me to read it for you?
No, no.
She hurried from the drugstore, crushed that she could think her illiterate, with a baby on one arm and a bundle of clothes in the other and the letter clutched in the one hand, found herself walking toward home. The rains made up a deep slot of the clay. Rod and Tinang followed the prints, left by the men and the carabaos that had gone before her to keep the sinking mud up to her knees. She was deep in the road before she became conscious of her shoes. In horror, she saw that they were coated with thick black clay. Gingerly, she pulled off one shoe after the other, with a hand still clutching to the letter. When she had tied the shoes together, with the laces and tongues slung them on an arm, the baby, the bundle, and the letter were all smeared with mud. There must be a place to put the baby down, she thought. Desperate now about the letter, she walked until she spotted a corner of a field where corn husks were scattered under a calamansi tree. She shoved together a pile of husks with her foot and laid the baby down upon it. With a sigh, she drew the letter from the envelope. She stared at the letter, which was written in English. My dearest Tinay, hello, how is life getting along? Are you still in a good condition? As for myself, the same as usual. But you're far from my side. It is not easy to be far from our lover. Tinay, do you still love me? I hope your kind and generous heart will never fade. Someday or somehow, I'll be there again, fulfill our promise. Many weeks and months have elapsed. Still I remember our bygone days, especially when I was suffering with the heat of the tractor under the heat of the sun. I was always in despair until I imagined your personal appearance, coming forward, bearing the sweetest smile that enabled me to view the distant horizon. Deny, I could not return because I found that my mother was very ill. That is why I was not able to take you as a partner of life. Please respond to my message at once so that I know whether you'll still love me or not. I hope you did not love anybody except myself. I think I am going beyond the limit of your leisure hours, so I close with the best wishes to you, my friends. Gonding, Sefarin, Domingo, etc. Forever yours, Amado. P.S. My mother died last month. Tinang was intoxicated. She pressed herself against the calamansi tree.
My lover is true to me. He never meant to desert me.
Amado, she thought. Amado. A little green snake slithered languidly into a tall grass a few yards from the calamansi tree. Tinang started violently and remembered her child. It lay motionless on the mat of husk. With a shriek, she grabbed it wildly and hugged it close. The baby awoke from its sleep and cried lustily.
Ave Maria Santissima, do not punish me.
She prayed, searching the baby's skin for marks. Among the corn husk, the letter fell unnoticed.